Good morning, Your Honour. Mr. Mohammadi appearing on behalf of Ms. Morris before this Honourable Court in seeking bail for her alleged charges. Ms. Morris was arrested and remanded in custody and charged with the following alleged charges. Common assault, Section 23 of the Summary Offences Act 1966, Victoria. Causing injury intentionally or recklessly, Section 18 of the Crimes Act 1958, Victoria. Persons found drunk, Section 13 of the Summary Offences Act 1966, Victoria. And willful destruction of damages and properties, Section 9 of the Summary Offences Act 1966, Victoria. The accused in the matter, Your Honour, is an Australian citizen, Miss Morris, a 27-year-old who was born and raised in Melbourne and is in a de facto relationship with Paulina, who is a good member of the community with no criminal history. She's worked hard to build herself a well-established career in marketing, and I have a character witness statement from her employer if the court pleases to see. She works full-time and makes over $125,000 in admirable salary. Ms. Morris is the key contributor of financial stability in her household. She has shares worth over $75,000 and a saving in excess of $50,000. Ms. Morris also has her commercial pilot license. Ms. Morris engages with an online community where she posts inspirational stories on her social media accounts regularly. She has had a blemish on her record for driving while suspended, but that was 5 years ago and no conviction was recorded. Since then, she has made significant lifestyle changes to her life, inclusive of a new career, new relationship, and decision-making. Your Honour, as you're aware, under Section 4 of the Bails Act 1977, Victoria, a person who has been accused of an offence and is being held in custody is entitled for bail unless you're satisfied, Your Honour, to refuse otherwise. Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities Act 2006, Section 21, also deems a basic human right for a person to have liberty and security. And so detaining Ms. Morris in custody, it would deprive her of that basic human right. As you're also aware, Your Honour, none of the alleged offences are scheduled offences and therefore Section 4 capital A and 4 capital C of the Bails Act would not be applicable. Therefore, with the guidance of flowchart as part of Section 3 capital D of the Bails Act, since Ms. Morris was charged with non-scheduled offences, flowchart number 4 is advised to be looked at. That is the unacceptable risk test as part of Section 3 capital D, subsection 5 of the Bails Act. As for granting bail, it's for the prosecution to satisfy that there is the unacceptable risk on granting bail today to Ms. Morris, pursuant to Section 4 capital D, Section 2, subsection 2, and 4 capital E, subsection 2, for which if you're satisfied, you may refuse bail pursuant to Section 4 capital E, subsection 1 of the Bails Act. But we have strong reasons to believe that Ms. Morris do not possess any risk that are not mitigated through the reasons outlined below. In your consideration whether there is an acceptable risk, as you acknowledge, Your Honour, Section 4 capital E subsection 3A of the Bails Act is to be considered by the decision maker. That is the surrounding circumstances in the form of the nature and seriousness of the offences, past criminal history, strength of the prosecution, any family violence intervention orders, and in particular in this case, the Mrs. Morris's personal circumstances, and whether those conditions can be mitigated under the unacceptable risk. Your Honour, the prosecution has argued that Ms. Morris would endanger, as pursuant to Section 4 capital E subsection 1A I, endanger the safety and welfare of the witnesses and perhaps the victim, or may commit an offence while on bail, and so the risks are unacceptable. At the night of the incident, my client was intoxicated. She has harmed the victim recklessly rather than intentionally, and ever since then she has been very remorseful and apologetic. In alleviating the concerns that the prosecution has brought up earlier, Ms. Morris is willing to get into a rehabilitation program such as the KISS program that we've applied for already, Your Honour, or if she's been denied of the KISS program, then she is willing to go to get into a rehabilitation program privately. We also submit that a curfew can be placed on Ms. Morris to be home between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. to ensure that she can still resume her occupation. and there's no limitation on her earning, which is quite important in her current family circumstances. Ms. Morris do not hold any affiliation with her childhood friends who are classified as a gang group, which was brought up by the prosecution. However, to alleviate that concern of the prosecution, a condition can be imposed on Ms. Morris to not make contact with those groups whatsoever. Therefore, holding Ms. Morris in custody can put her in a vulnerable position, as she's the breadwinner winner and financial supporter of her partner, Paulina, who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer and requires extensive treatment in the form of chemotherapy and radiology, for which my client wishes to be there for her partner. And here are the documents from the Peter MacCallum Cancer Treatment, Your Honour, if you wish to see. The prosecution also holds concern around my client having her commercial pilot license. In alleviating those concerns, Ms. Morris is willing to hand in her license alongside her passport to ensure that she complies with her condition on of her bail. Additionally, at the time of the offence, Ms. Morris was not under any investigation, was not involved in any crime, or did not have any pending court cases, and she is also clean of any family violence conduct, which the current relationship is as a result of. In conclusion, Your Honour, remanding Ms. Morris in custody will have substantial impact on her life as a family person, but also a good contributor of the community. It's true that the prosecution holds some concerns around Ms. Morris being bailed out. However, those from our submission to the court and pursuant to Section 4(e) of the Bails Act, the unacceptable risks that the prosecutions hold are mitigated through the conditions we submitted to the court, Your Honour, and we think that they weigh equally. Additionally, pursuant to Section 3(a) of the Bails Act, her surrounding circumstances, in particular the recent diagnosis of her partner's illness, Ms. Morris's presence and being there for her partner is vital. Vital support, not only financially, but emotionally also, Your Honour. Thank you very much.